Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of the Desert. My name is Bob Rancourt, and I'm pleased to be your worship associate today. We have a fun service planned for you today, in which Reverend Riddell and the Peet family are going to connect us with the Unitarian Universalist Camp de Benneville Pines Retreat Center in the San Bernadino National Forest. So I'm looking forward to learning about that because I know absolutely nothing about it. As we begin, let's acknowledge that we're on the historic homelands of the various bands of Cahuilla people, and we honor the unique relationship that we hope emerges between our community and the indigenous people and their traditional territories. Let this acknowledgement serve as a reminder to recognize, honor, reconcile, and partner with the Cahuilla people whose land and water we benefit from today. In this congregation, we welcome people of all sexual orientations and gender identities, of all sizes and ages, people of all economic statuses and professions, of all physical or mental abilities, people of all races, ancestries, and cultures. We welcome you wherever you're from, whoever you love, whatever your immigration status, whatever your level of civic engagement. We welcome all those who will learn and grow with us as we commit together to embrace the rich and beautiful diversity of the world and to build a community centered in justice, compassion, and love. You are welcome here. We're glad you're with us this morning. We have only one announcement this morning from your Social Justice Committee. It's that time of the year again when we nominate our favorite nonprofits for Share the Plate. You have two ways to nominate. There's a paper form in the lobby that you can use, or you can look in last Friday's newsletter for the online link. Nominations close on April 14. You've got about 2 weeks, so please don't delay. Thank you, Social Justice, for all you do. Stay in the know about UUCOD. If you're not already on our email listserv, please contact us at admin@uucod.org, admin@uucod.org, to be added and to learn more about us and our programming. And now, let's ring our Tibetan bowl and begin our service, and then listen to our music for centering.
Thank you, Casey. Good morning and welcome. I am Ian Riddell, and I have the honor and joy of serving this congregation as its minister. However you found us, however many times you've been here with us in person or online, welcome. We are a congregation grounded in our commitment to love and an evolving tradition that celebrates the richness and beauty of individual lives and commits to working together to weave a tapestry made stronger and more vibrant by our collaboration and by the sharing of our lives and our visions for a thriving, loving, and just future for all life. We gather together today with the words of the Reverend Sherry Woodbury. Welcome, who come in friendship, who long for genuine community. May you be graciously received here as your authentic self. Welcome, who come in curiosity, full of questions, or simply open. May you embrace wonder and encounter new delights. Welcome, who come heavy with fatigue, weary from the troubles of the world or the troubles of your own life. May you rest and be filled in this sacred space. Welcome, who come with joy for flowing rivers and gentle breeze, for changing skies and giant trees. May the grace of the world leave a lasting imprint in you. Welcome, who come with thanks for the altruism of the earth and the gift of human care. May your grateful heart overflow and bless those around you. Come, let us celebrate together this wondrous life. Let us worship together. And we're going to start that worship by singing together our opening hymn, number 4, I Brought My Spirit to the Seas. I'm just going to invite you to stay seated for this one. I don't think we have sung this before, and so it's new for most folks. Jeffrey's going to play it all the way through, and then we'll sing together. I Brought My Spirit to the Sea. I brought my spirit to the sea. I stood upon the shore. I gazed upon infinity. I heard the waters roar. And then there came a sense of peace. Some whisper caught my soul. Some ancient ministry of stars had made my spirit whole. I brought my spirit to the trees that bloomed against the sky. I touched each wandering careless breeze to know if love was nigh. And then I felt an inner flame that fiercely burned my tears. Upright I rose from bended knees to meet the asking years.
Let's light our chalice together and say our unison aspiration. May love be the spirit of this church. May the quest for truth be its sacrament and service be its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, and to help one another in fellowship, this is our aspiration. And then let's light the BioPOC candle lighting. I've asked mi prima, Sarita Gonzalez, to come up and do that for us, my cousin-in-law, so to speak. We light this candle in solidarity with Black, Indigenous, and other people of color as we journey toward spiritual wholeness. May we, as a beloved community, work to dismantle racism and all forms of oppression. May we live out our principles so that justice, dignity, and equity for all prevails. And at this time, I'd like to invite up Leo Peet Paduana.
Good morning. My name is Leo Peet Paduano, and today I'm going to be sharing my experiences with Camp Benneville Pines. So I've been attending this camp since I was in about 2nd grade, and I'm in 7th now, so about 5 years. There are a lot of activities at camp, but most of them are focused on a sense of community. There are activities such as, like, we help clear out the forest of a lot of the underbrush, as we know that is a large cause of wildfires in California. And this helps us, also protect the camp as well as giving us a sense of community, as we're all striving towards one goal. There are also a lot of activities, such as archery, swimming, and a lot of arts and crafts such as tie-dye. There is also a talent show, actually, at the end of the week, and it's actually quite interesting because a lot of people go up and show different things, which is nice to see because a lot of people don't feel comfortable doing that, so it's always like an enjoyment for me to see that. As well as there are a lot of other games and whatnot at the church or camp, whatever you want to call it, and such as silent potato or silent football, which somehow after playing 2 rounds I got more points than half the camp combined, and that's not a good thing. Yeah, but there's a lot of activities, and I'm actually going to let my brother speak more on those. I got a bad picture of me. There's a lot of pictures, and y'all supposed. All right. Hi, I'm Nate. I'm 13, and same as my brother, I've been attending this camp for about 5 years. It's really an enjoyment of mine. Every summer, I look forward to it because my dad makes me go to a lot of camps, but I don't like a lot of them. So, so I like going to that one specifically. So it's just a really fun camp in general. There's a lot of bonding activities with friends. Last year there wasn't that many people. Before COVID, there was a lot more people attending, but even with the small amount of people, I think it was only about 3 cabins full. I managed to make a couple friends that I still talk to this day, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of bonding activities, like the campfire that we have weekly, and there's a movie night every Thursday. And like Leo said, the talent show, which half of the kids do something usually. There's also a worship that every cabin has to do every week, and that was probably one of my favorite parts about it because you got to spend a lot of time with your cabin just making worship, which was, we had to choose songs, we had to do a dance. I don't know why, but it was kind of funny. But that was about a 30-minute long worship, and it was fun working with all the counselors and all the kids at camp on it. There was a large group of people with many diverse, just fun kids, which would kind of make it hard to make friends, but everybody there was super friendly, so it was really cool. And my favorite thing about camp was probably archery because I've never done it before, and then I did it this year, and it was really fun, but also really hard. So, I don't know, like Casey.
Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Okay. Hello, I'm Catherine Clare. I'm 16 years old. I'm a sophomore at Palm Desert High, and I would like to tell you a little bit about my experience at camp because I've been going just as long as my brothers have. I started out in the 5th grade with the elementary school camp, which was a lot of fun, but for this past summer, I went with my dad to the family camp, which is a bit of a different experience because it's more bonding with your family and other families than like other kids. So I thought that was a really unique experience, and I met a lot of new people and made a lot of new friends. There were bonding activities for the teens and kids. There was movie nights and group games. I think my favorite teen activity was probably the night the nature night hike that we went on. Because I remember we left at like 9:30, and then my dad called me or he texted me like 20 minutes later, like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm on a hike, Dad, I told you." And he was like, "Well, when are you gonna get back? I'm going to bed right now." And I'm like, "Dad, it's 4 miles round trip. I'm gonna be back at 11:30. And he was like, "Fine." Yeah. Another one of my favorite activities was probably the cabin competitions. You don't have to strictly stick with your cabin, so I went with a different cabin, which had a lot of adults, because a lot of the teens and older kids made a different group. But I went with some of the other families, and it was really fun. We got to do a little performance and sing songs, and we got to make arts and crafts, and that was fun. We also connected with each other in the nature around us, because it really is beautiful up there. There were daily worship activities where we would sit outside and we would sing and reflect on our experiences and listen to the sounds of nature. And there was also a meditation, kind of like a yoga class that my dad and I went to, and I thought that was very beautiful because it was a unique experience, because I'd never done that in a place outside like as beautiful as that. So I'd really recommend going, because it is very nearby and there aren't that many people from this congregation that go. So we just hope to maybe get more people to go and to educate you about the camp, to encourage you if you have the time and you're willing to go, or if you're curious about it. So thank you.
Amazing. What amazing, well-spoken kid. We are in good shape if this is the future generation. I mean, amazing job, you guys. Wow. At this time, I'm going to ask the ushers to come forward and pass the collections plate for monetary contributions, if you're able. Your contribution, not only in treasure, but also in time or talent, is an important way to support UUCOD. For those joining us virtually today, welcome. We haven't forgotten you're there. You too can donate through our virtual offering basket. You can click on the link provided in our weekly weekly constant contact order of worship. There we go. You should have received on Friday, or by following the link that you should get in an email message that you should receive at the end of service today. Regardless whether you're here in the room or online, please share as generously as you are able. Thank you.
a time in our service where we share the joys and sorrows of our members of our community. Share the happiness and celebration that is in our hearts, and we share the pain and anger as well. Because we know that joys shared are magnified and sorrows shared amongst others are blessed. That we will find strength from each other. So these are joys and sorrows written down for us today. Reuben and Bob share a candle of joy, and I'm going to read this verbatim. Happy anniversary to our beautiful rescued Welsh Terrier dog. We're so happy you chose us as your forever friend. You can be a pain at times, like your dad, Bob. I'm just reading what is written here. But we love you just the way you are. You bring us so much joy, Reuben. Carol writes joyous gratitude to our caring, loving community who is generously supporting our friend Pam Mayer. Very much appreciates your love. An anonymous person has written, happy 60th birthday. Wonderful day. Candle of gratitude for UUCOD's support for Safe Schools, Desert Cities scholarships. Through Share the Plate in February, UUCOD is now listed as a sponsor for scholarships. Money is important for the work. Light a candle of sadness, of anger, for the young men and women dying on both sides of the Russian-Ukrainian war because one man wants more money. These are the joys and sorrows listed here. And there are joys and sorrows that remain in the quiet of our hearts, not ready yet, spoken aloud, not ready yet, shared with others. Hold all of those in our loving hearts as we enter into a time of prayer and Spirit of life, source of love, fire of our broken and shining heart, we are gathered today in the midst of our lives. Our lives full of joys, our lives full of sorrows, our lives full of strength, and our lives full of bring all of ourselves. We know that all of us, all of our happiness, all of our sadness, all of our hope, all of our despair, all of this helps us know who we are. It helps us remember how we are connected with each other. We hold in our hearts all of those who've been lifted up in our candles this morning, all of those around our country and around our world who are in need of love, who are in need of hope. My computer decided to respond to that. Who need our love, who need our hope, who need the results of our anger and commitment to justice. We hold especially in our hearts those families in Tennessee who are today mourning the loss of young lives, the loss of teachers' lives, in the face of ongoing violence, in the face of our country's national unwillingness to make change, in the face of our leaders who are unwilling to make change despite the hopes and wills and desires and anger of the population of this country. We hold all of them in our hearts. We hope that they will make choices based in love and safety and justice. And we hope that each of us will make a choice this week to do one thing, at least one thing, to help bring change. We hold in our hearts today all of those whose lives, whose identities, whose realities are disparaged, are questioned, are put down, are demonized. We hold especially in our hearts our transgender kin and family and neighbors whose lives are beautiful, whose lives bring richness to ours, whose lives deserve respect and love and care and support. May we choose this week to do one thing, at least one thing, to let the trans people in our lives know that they are loved. They already know that they are worthy. They don't need that from us. They need our love, and they need our fierce resolve to change the world and change the rhetoric of our nation. We hold all of these in our hearts as we remember here in this place that we are not alone, that each of those one things that we do this week will make a difference in the lives of our neighbors and kin. And we know that this is one of the places we come in song, in word, and in silence. We come together to remind ourselves that we are not alone, that our strength is in each other, that our strength is in seeing each other and hearing each other and knowing each other beloved. We pause for a moment in the quiet of this holy place, reminding ourselves that we are not alone and that the things that we do in the world have meaning and impact. We pause in quiet. May all beings know peace. May all beings know an end to suffering. May all beings know love. Will you join now as we sing together our hymns for meditation, Spirit of Life and Fuente de Amor? Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí. Y al corazón, cántale tu compasión. Sopla al volar, sube en la mar, hasta moldear la justicia de la vida. Aráyame, libérame, fuente de amor, ven a mí, ven a mí.
I hope you recognize up there who that is. So I have to say I'm very, very proud of my kids. They blow me away. They blow me away in so many ways. A little of the history of the kids and me since with our church over the years. The kids started with Unitarian Universalists of the desert here when Catherine Claire was 6 and the boys were 3. And so it's been 10 years. But I had looked around at that time, 10 years ago, to see, I was looking for a church for the kids to learn about what they can believe in. And that's been a major, and I looked around and then I found here, and that's what it's been. And I feel like it's been so amazing because way back then as well, when it got started, there were just about 10 or 12 kids that would be here. And sorry, what was her name? Barbara? Suzanne. So if I know some of you guys have been here, right? And so she would bring a book, a kid's book, right? If you remember that, and she would read that book, and the kids would come over here, and they would sit right there. She would sit right there, and she'd read that book. And I found those books so amazing, and they were just so they were kids' books, but they were just amazing books, and the kids listened to that. And all of us were laughing at it as well sometimes, or it was just a really amazing book that was so significant, I felt, for us. And I thought that was something. And then if you guys remember, then they all left, right, and to go back in there, and they would be back in there for the rest. And they would be learning about so many other churches around the world. And I felt that was really significant for them, and that was really important, I felt, for them. And then another thing to share with you guys, as you know, about me, if you know, part of my brain is gone. So that's been a major part for me, and it's just over 8 years. So I am blessed. I'm so very blessed. They told me I'd be around for the next 9 to 12 months after the surgery here. The surgery lasted for like 7.5 hours. And they told me I'd be around, again, I think I mentioned this, they said I'd be around for the next 9 to 12 months. Well, it's 9 years. 9 years. And yeah, I see doctors all the time. In fact, I see two major doctors for me next week. But they are also blown away because I'm in less than 1% survivor. So that's me. That's me. But what I want to share about what has been amazing part that the kids shared with, and what I felt as well for the kids was such a significant time with the church and with the summer activities up there, which it's only about barely an hour and a half for us to get up there. That's how close it is to us. And it's beautiful up there. You're going to see a lot more pictures. I took all the pictures. But you're going to see all these amazing pictures that are up there and how beautiful it is up there. And you guys have this, right? And so this has some information about everything that's going on up there. And so you can check that out. And what we're going to do is that is that he's going to tell more, and then Randy and I are going to probably not this month, but next month we'll pick a time and we'll go up there for the day. So maybe around 10 o'clock we'll meet here and we'll go up there. Again, it's only just like barely an hour and a half to get up there, and it's so beautiful once we get up there. And we're going to go up there, and then you're going to meet, what's her name again? Janet, who's been up there forever. And if you know about her, but she's amazing, and she'll be up there as well. So we're going to go up there, and she'll tell us more information. We'll walk around the area there. You'll see some of those pictures. It's so amazing. We'll walk around, and you'll see some of that. And then and we'll have lunch up there. Okay, we'll take some lunch up there and walk around. You'll see it all, and then we'll have a nice drive coming back. So it's just going to be a few hours to do that, and I want to do that so that if you guys are interested, we'll take a couple cars to go up there, and you'll have that experience up there. So that's a main part of what I've been wanting to happen and do, so that all of you guys that are interested in that, you can see how amazing it is there, and all. And as well, it was kind of mentioned, right, for this summer, there's that month, and so there's very young kids, then middle kids, then like high school kids, and then on the fourth week, it's all families, which I think she mentioned, right? And so so there's that, but also you'll find out more. But there's all these other activities that are happening throughout the year up there. And people are coming from San Francisco to San Diego, and what were those other, Phoenix, and so people are coming from all over for that. And it's so. Also, another thing that's happened is, we've met these people from all over the state and everything, and we've had those contacts. Particularly you, right? He has a nice girlfriend through that, and so they're, and they're yakking all the time now. So it just is so amazing in that way. So, anyway, thanks for listening to me.
Shalom, my friend, shalom, my friend, shalom, shalom. We'll see you again, we'll see you again. Shalom, shalom. This is a song that has been, it's obviously a Hebrew, a Jewish folk tune. It's been part of my life since I was a teenager. And the reason it's been part of my life since I was a teenager is that when I was in high school, four of the summers that I was in high school, I was a camp counselor at Camp Quinn Molac. Now, that's an odd name for a camp. It was in the Quinte Conference of the United Church of Canada, Quinn, on Moira Lake, Molac, Quinn Molac. That was the camp. And I was a camp counselor there for 4 summers, leaving my home in Kingston and spending 8 or 9 weeks at camp being a camp counselor. Teaching kids, leading kids, keeping kids safe, taking them on overnight camping trips, which was kind of at odds with keeping them safe. But anyway, and I was looking at as I was getting ready today, I was looking at pictures of myself in high school and looking at the joy on the faces of all of us counselors, the joy on the faces of the kids. And, I remember it was high school. It wasn't always joyful, but it was just a really wonderful experience. And I realize, as I look back, that this camp experience for me, this going to camp, this being a leader at camp, really was the beginning of my journey to ministry. And I know that's true for many other people. There was the place that I really started learning to be a leader. I was asked to be responsible for the lives of 10 kids. It was there I learned started to learn to work more in partnership with others. We were paired in a group of three counselors for a group of kids, and learning how to work together with our different working styles and lifestyles. Learning to care for the needs of those kids that we welcomed, their physical needs, certainly, but it was church camp, and so their spiritual needs as well, learning and teaching and being together. Learning to be present with them as they too were learning about being away from home, often for the first time. Imagine at 7 years old having your parents drop you off and come back a week later, but they had a wonderful experience. Sometimes it was hard for them. Learning to build habits. At my camp, I'm going to get to Camp de Benneville in a moment, but at my camp, we had to, if you jumped in the lake first thing in the morning all summer as a counselor, jumped in the lake, you got a sweatshirt at the end that said polar bear dip. It was easy in June and July to jump in the lake. The last week of August, where up in Canada, not so easy to do. Why? Called polar bear dip. But learning to build those habits, learning, honestly for me, learning to be an adult, being away from home for that long was really important for long stretches. It prepared me, as I know it prepared others, for going off to college or life in the dorms or going off traveling or working. And it was a period of learning to breathe in the beauty of summer nights around a campfire, learning to breathe in the woods and letting it replenish our souls. It was really the beginning of my journey. And I thought I had left it behind. But then when I began as minister at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Las Vegas in 2012, our director of Lifespan Faith Development, Danielle, was also the district's camp life director. And she was very deeply involved with the work of Camp de Benneville Pines. And I'm going to say she invited me. My arm was very strongly twisted. She invited me to be chaplain for a family camp that was happening over Valentine's Day weekend. It was the first one they were doing Valentine's Day weekend. And I went up and I remembered myself. I found Camp de Benneville to be beautiful, to be healing, to be fun, to be meaningful in my life. There are so many things that happen at Camp de Benneville Pines. There is, as I said, family camp where kids and their parents or their caregivers get to come up to camp together. There are camps where kids get to be with counselors and away from their families for a week. There are music retreats. There are retreats for men's fellowships and women's fellowships up there. There is, every summer now, a choir camp, which I had the joy and honor of leading a couple of summers, paired with an adult camp, where adults go up and leave their whatever their lives are behind for a week and plan worship and play together and learn together. Many congregations in what was the Pacific Southwest District, so Southern California, Arizona, and Nevada especially, many congregations have a weekend every year where they go up together to camp and have joyful, fun, and learning activities together. I know it's not something that this congregation has done, but I have talked with Janet, who is the director of camp, and she would love to have some of us come up, maybe join in with another congregation. So you're going to be hearing a little bit more from me about that over the next months. But it's a place where we can go. This camp of ours survived the fires of the past few years. And I say survived because the fire came within feet of the buildings of camp a couple of years ago. But the work that the campers have done, as our friends reminded us earlier today, the work that the campers have done and the camp staff and the members of the congregations of our district have done to keep the camp safe and protected has been just transformative. And it's a really wonderful place to be. It is, or has been at least, buried under several feet of snow for the past few weeks, but that's okay. There are lots and lots of ways. That means water, which is good. There are lots and lots of ways that we can be there, adult camps, youth camps, conferences, music festivals, all sorts of things. It is our camp. There is a banner hanging in the dining hall of Camp de Benneville Pines with our congregation's name on it. It is our camp. It is the camp supported and held and financed a lot, but supported and championed by the congregations of what was the Pacific Southwest District, 50 congregations, Southern California, Arizona, and Las Vegas. It is our camp. It is your camp to use. It's a place for us to deepen our faith, a place for us to nurture new leaders, a place to support our youth on their journeys. It's a place to interact with people from all over the region. It may seem like it's an odd thing to do is spend a Sunday service talking about a camp, even a Unitarian Universalist camp. The service is not meant to be an advertisement. But as we daily and weekly and monthly imagine together how to deepen our faith, deepen our understanding and practice of our spiritual lives, as we imagine together how to share our deepest values with the world, as we imagine together new ways of learning and leading and growing, I think it's a great thing to do, to explore the ways that our Unitarian Universalist faith is shared and spread and deepened outside our congregational walls as well as within them. What different ways of there being Unitarian Universalist in the world? How do we grow new leaders? How do we engage our youth in our life-saving tradition? How do we imagine new futures together? I mention the future because I don't know, many of you may be doing this too. I've been exploring ChatGPT a little bit, AI software a little bit, and I wrote my whole sermon by myself. Although you can type in, write a sermon about, and it will give you something. I haven't done that. But I did the other day type in, are there Unitarian Universalist summer camps? And it had an answer for me. It listed 4 or 5 camps and retreat centers from around our country, from Washington State to Tennessee to New England and Camp de Benneville Pine. So it is an important part of our movement. Our camps and our gatherings have been important for many people. With congregational life as a grounding center, conferences and camps and justice organizations and story times and chaplaincy are powerful and connective ways to build community, to grow connections, to deepen their faith and their spiritual lives, to learn to be a leader, to offer service to others, and to have a lot of fun outside the walls of the congregation. As we are envisioning the future together, we would like to invite you to remember that our Unitarian Universalist movement thrives outside on the mountain, among the trees, as well as here inside these walls. It thrives at General Assembly and regional gatherings. It thrives in workshops and seminars, in hospitals and in hospice care. It thrives in seminaries and in campus programs. It thrives in blogs and YouTube videos, and even ChatGPT knows about us. I will hope that you take some time, read the flyer that you've got in your order of service, check out the camp website to explore the possibilities while we're exploring possibilities inside these walls, outside these walls. And I will hope that you will find ways to support these ministries with your time and resources. When they thrive, we thrive. And we learn so much about ourselves and who we are. We build leadership and leaders when we support a really wide range of ministry and work in our Unitarian Universalist tradition, which the world so desperately needs. Now, David mentioned there were pictures that he had taken. And so we're going to have a little slideshow in just a second, and we're going to see some pictures of Camp de Benneville Pines, and you might recognize a couple of interesting characters along the way. You will see the camp dog, Daisy, and there's a picture of David with Janet, who is the camp director, and there's another picture in there too. But this is Camp de Benneville Pines. One of the great joys of being at camp, and other parts of our lives too, but the great joys of being at camp is gathering around a campfire and singing songs with badly tuned guitars, or at least that was my memory of high school. And so we're going to sing together an old camp song written and composed and written by Malvina Reynolds, who's wrote so many songs that so many of us know. This is called Magic Penny. And what we're going to do is we're going to sing the verse and then the chorus, and then the verse and the chorus. The chorus and the verse, and the chorus and the verse, and the chorus again. You just join in as you're able, okay? Why don't you rise in body and spirit? We'll learn it the way we learned it at camp, and we'll sing it. Love is something. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny. Hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many. They'll roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny. Hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many. They'll roll all over the floor. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you'll end up having more.
Golly, now I want to go camping. Jeez. It's time already to extinguish the chalice, but before doing so, I do want to extend an invitation. As you know, our dear member friend Pam Mayer came home from the hospital again yesterday. She's had some significant health challenges lately, so Jeffrey is playing the well-known What a Wonderful World for our postlude, and Cheryl Eaton and her gang of post-service dancers, who normally would include our dear friend Pam, invites all who are willing to form a circle around the congregation, hold the hand of the person next to you, and sway as the music moves you, sending loving thoughts to our member Pam via the streaming service. Now, let's extinguish the chalice together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Unitarian Universalist Max Kapp wrote the words of our opening hymn, and I just want to remind you of those. I brought my spirit to the sea, I stood upon the shore, I gazed upon infinity and heard the waters roar. And then there came a sense of peace, some whisper calmed my soul, some ancient ministry of stars had made my spirit whole. I brought my spirit to the trees that loomed against the sky. I touched each wandering, careless breeze to ask if love was nigh. And then I felt an inner flame that fiercely burned my tears. Upright I rose from bended knee to meet the asking years. As we return to our daily lives, friends, may we carry with us the peace of the stars, the roar of the waters, the inner flame of a life connected to the world around us, the reminders that we are not alone and that we are held in deep peace and love. And may we carry with us the call to connect, to learn from each other, to support each other's growing leadership, and to sing a song when it bubbles up in our heart. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. Go in peace, my friends, to love and serve the world.